Welcome, Achievers, to MySciences.com. This is Mr. Aguirre from the south rim of the Grand Canyon. And we're going to explain how the Grand Canyon came to be. About 2 billion years ago, two plate tectonics collided. It was an oceanic plate and collided with a continental plate, the oceanic plate being more dense, subducted underneath the continental plate. The friction caused by this subduction zone created the rocks to be very hot, and as they melted, they created magma, which rose. And as it rose, it created a volcanic area, and what we have at the basement of the Grand Canyon is what they call Vishnu basement rock, which is a metamorphic rock. On top of that, you had flat layers of red shale and fossil algae bearing limestone and some dark lava. And this is called the Grand Canyon supergroup. As the basin and range started to form some 300 million years ago, you had a lot of faulting activity which caused the basin and range. On top of that, you had an area, or rather a time period of relatively low tectonic activity where a lot of horizontal layers of marine life accumulated in the ocean floor. So you have river deposits, sedimentary deposits of swamps and deltas, which became mudstones, and these are the Paleozoic sedimentary rocks. The Colorado Plateau, which took place some 700 million years ago, creating the Rocky Mountains, began to form. As it pushed up the North American plate, it overwrote the Pacific plate. In this process, now forming Utah and northern Arizona and the western Colorado and parts of New Mexico, rose above sea level, thousands of feet, forming the Colorado Plateau. And you have some uplift, which you can see. The last part, which was the Grand Canyon being carved some 5-6 million years ago from the Colorado River, flowing across the Colorado Plateau on its way from the Rocky Mountains to the Gulf of California. So each rain washed sparsely vegetated desert soil into the river. A steep gradient and heavy sediment load created a powerful tool for erosion. The river's volume varied seasonally and over time. As the last ice age ended some 12,000 years ago, the flow may have been 10 times the volume today, creating the Grand Canyon. This is Mr. Aguirre from MySciences.com, signing off.